Okay, let's look at this example. It's an example from 6.5, but we do need to refer back to 6.3 if you're not using SALT within the problem. So it says, suppose X has a distribution with a mean of 90 and a standard deviation of 36, and we have a sample size of 64. Describe the X-bar distribution and compute the mean and standard deviation of the X-bar distribution. That means it's approximately normal. The mean will be the same, and the standard deviation you find by taking the standard deviation given dividing by the square root of n. So down here, if you're looking at that, so that will be the given standard deviation was 36, and then the n is 64, so 36 divided by the square root of 64, which is 36 divided by 8, which is 4.5. So now we know our mean of X bar is 90 and standard deviation X bar is 4.5. So you want to find Z when you have X bar equals 94.5. So to find Z, this is our formula. It's X bar minus the mean over the standard deviation that we computed up here above. So it's X bar minus the 90 divided by the 4.5, which is 4.5 divided by 4.5, which means Z is equal to 1. Okay, so now we need to go to table 5 or use SALT. Remember, Z is equal to 1. I don't have that written here. I wonder if it'll let me write it. Equal 1. Okay, so Z is equal to 1. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use the table first. So I'm going to go to the table, if I can grab it here. Let's turn that off. If I can turn that off, I want to turn that off. Shoot. Okay. So let's exit drawing. Okay. So let's go to the book, and if I go to the book here, which is right here, and if you'll go to the table at the back, and it is from, you can click on it or you can go to the very back of the book, table 5 in appendix 2. So if I go to table 5, it gets me here, and I'm going down to Z equals 1. If I go to Z equals 1, I will find everything in the blue, which would be less than the number we're looking for. So let's go see again what our problem asks for. The problem asks us to find the probability that X bar is less than 94.5. So we know we're looking at the right place. If it said greater than, then it would be 1 minus the answer we get. But let me show you. So find Z corresponding to 94.5. So again, we found that Z equals 1. So go to that table, go down to Z equals 1.0, and the answer for the probability that it's less than, where Z is 1 in our case, but that also corresponds to the 94.5, X bar being 94.5, and the answer is 0.8413. Okay, one thing I did want to tell you is if you're looking for greater than, then the answer will be 1 minus 1 minus 0.8413 would be your answer if you're looking for the yellow, because that would be greater than, but the answer given on the chart is 4 less than. So if we go back to the sheet here, then you will see X bar less than 94.5. You use the table 5, and that answer is 0.8413. Had it said greater than, then I would have done 1 minus 1 minus 0.8413, 1 minus 0.8413, which would have been 0.1587 had it asked for greater than. So if it had had greater than, it would have been 1 minus the 0.8413. And that would have been the answer for greater than. I just flipped that out on my calculator here, would have been 0.1587. 0.1587. 7. So excuse the handwriting there. It's kind of hard to do on my mouse. Okay, so that's how you word this problem. And one more thing, let's look at it one more way, is let me show you how to do this problem using SALT, because if you use SALT, then you don't need to do any of this at all. So if I go back to the problem here, and if I click on use SALT, then all I have to do is put everything in there. It's a normal distribution with a mean of 90. And remember, when we use that formula, we got a standard deviation of 4.5. And we want to know the probability that X bar is less than 94.5. And it shows us the picture, so that's awesome. And there's the answer, 0.8413. And it actually shows you that the Z, that corresponds with a Z of 1. And we're looking at the shaded area. So that's how you do it very easily on the SALT. So I hope that helps.